So new day, new mission, right? Every day is like a setup of a new challenge, a new way for them to stop you in your grind. You know that it's abuse what's happening to you. You know that they set up every single move that you could possibly try to make it out from under because they don't want to be accountable to their crimes. No way do they want to be accountable to their crimes. So it's gonna feel like every day is a new battle. Every day, something new spiritually is gonna be attacking you. A new psychological warfare tactic, and it gets to be very physical. So when you react, and that's just a whole other piece that we'll have to talk about, is the reactive abuse. But when your safety is under that kind of monstrosity of threat, and the systems that are meant to protect you go silent, as if you're just supposed to go silently into the dead of the night. And like just roll yourself off into this way of a battle that you're faced up against, you start to realize how deep that psychological warfare and how deep that biological warfare is really actually running. So it's a story about my trying to stand my ground and my trying to continue to work when the odds have been being stacked against me. It was my job at ITI. It was my job at Strong. It was even my jobs working for people when I was homeless or having odd jobs and side jobs to work tirelessly when I was legitimately feeling like I'm walking around as 10 of me or better. That I couldn't understand, that I understand now is a very cold and calculated arsenic abuse. It makes you feel super fatigued on top of like you're wiped up all out of your skull. Like an unlawful amount of fatigue. So what I'm trying to do is create that resilience with a channel that I really wanted to actually make this website and make I have a really gorgeous, beautiful business plan that I don't need to get into until I'm actually able to now reach a donor that's willing to help me make that happen, or donors, churches, legal authorities that are willing to step up the game. There's a lot of injustice at play here. And so we need to be able to have that strength to not only call it out for what it is, but to as well create ways to dance and play around it. To either get them to be okay with the fact that we want to live our lives too, like they want to shortchange us and set us up, and after all the setups of attack, it's going to play a huge role into your financial safety and security. Not just financially, but your actual health, your actual availability that you would otherwise have for yourself. So the availability that I wanted to have for myself has been completely being played out by the injustices, and finding strength through the storm is sometimes some of the hardest things that you'll have to do. But it's because surrendering here is just not an option. So we're living in this time under very heavy scrutiny. We're under fire, and it's a covert fire. And what I call is this modern day warfare. So if these people don't want to be accountable, they don't like, if people legitimately don't want to be accountable to the legality, the actual laws that they write up, while not being accountable to the one law of love, we're in a very dangerous position. A very dangerous position as humanity. So, I just wanted to suggest here that my missionary moves were on that vision for love, for higher energy, and that type of communal gift that humankind can be with each other, to uplift each other out here, not to put people down. So when you're in that state, I think that people realize that you're lit. You're actually internally lit up. And you have this higher vibe of energy that they don't want to thrive with or grow with or allow under any circumstances. Meaning that if you could bless up, glow up, blow up, and through that glow up and through your financial stability and security and safety and health, you could bring ample blessings into their lives. They simply don't want it because it's coming from you. So if they can already feel blessed with, say, an eighth or a quarter of what you would otherwise be able to bring into their lives, they're okay with that eighth. They're okay with that quarter. They're okay with that tenth. You see what I'm saying? So they don't, and legitimately it's because they don't want that extra 3/4 or that extra 9/10 to come from you. To glow up, to really be able to smile, to really be able to move in certain ways in your own life. That's just exactly what they don't want. Because being accountable would make them complicit to real thick and heavy duty, hefty crimes. So regardless if you have a forgiving heart and you would want to glow up in a fashion of being able to take them from the consequences of their actions and even erase those completely, start over from a clean slate, they wouldn't care for it. Simply because it's coming from you. So I have personally been trying to create for body movement, for diving into the depths of the integrity that's out here with the issues of the human heart, the emotional heart mainly, but the physical heart as well. And it's a heartfelt envision that I have with my business idea. Not only is it that, but it's honestly remarkable. I don't understand. I personally don't understand why people couldn't already see it with my efforts out here. That people couldn't already see it with what I've already created. Sure, I've been hard pressed. I've been very, very hard pressed, but it's actually impressive what I've had to actually go through. I mean, just to be as tired as I am right now, I didn't get anything for sleep because I had to stay awake within prayer, ceaselessly type of thing. Like, I don't even remember falling asleep, to tell you the truth. But, I mean, I must have gotten 2.5 hours of sleep or something like that. I'm in a grind that's not normal for other people to even consider normal. And it's not normal, but it never has been. It wasn't when I was 4, it wasn't when I was 7, any of the ages of my life. It was never normal for me. Normal to me, looking outward now, is safety and security within a family that matters and at least has moral integrity and moral obligation to be and do the right thing. I know that people feud, and I know that people aren't always on point for each other, but it's at least being on point for each other morally, not physically trying to determine somebody else's life and livelihood, controlling their lives, which is what happened with mine. So when it's financial sabotage, and it's literal sabotage, like down to levels deep of just my exposing this emotional truth they don't want. But they don't want, the demonic, the very people that want to side with the demonic are and have and are running with a legion of demons. So for me, even like dealing with the monstrous efforts that have been already created to take my life, to financially leave me in ruins, not allowing me to work even a McDonald's job or do my YouTube stuff without there being a second version of me being created, because they can't just come out and use their own faces and image, they gotta use mine. Why do people do that? You realize that it's all about mental abuse. It's about straining your availability to think that you could still do anything at all to get out from under their gun. And so, after realizing these things, the mission and the missionary moves was still to make a difference, a clear difference. After moving in that way, it would be hacking. You would be legitimately controlling my availability to do coding, learning how to, literally making everything clickable on the website, putting everything inside and parts and pieces of the website, getting availability for other people to sign up, have their own channels, have their own pages, all that, and all of the coding that's available there. It's like legitimately taking everything in the parts and pieces that I have visualized and drawing them up and making the drawings of them to be clickable. This clicks here, this shows you the about section, this shows you where to sign up, this shows you where your income would be, this shows you where you can grow your income and establish your network base, your clientele base, and follow-ups and all that kind of stuff, and just all the parts of the business for not only me to work but you to work, right? So there's a lot of process there, heavy process. But for me, I couldn't wait for that website design anymore that I was putting together. I was being hacked, I was being targeted, while the state prosecutors, when I left in the reactive abuse or left to react from the abuse, they can act as though that I have some way to think through these types of spiritual warfare attacks that could even be placed over an individual. There's something out here. I've contacted at least 1,000, if not 2,000 different places and fired emails out there like rapid gunfire. For something not to stick, it's more than just your average warfare. It's more than just what people think initially. That, you know, whatever they think. It's mental health, or it's not real, or I don't know what people want to think. But I'm not telling you what to think. What I'm suggesting here is that there's something still at play from what I've discovered based on the crime that's happening to me. There's a lot, like a whole freaking castle of brick that is still yet to be discovered. And I'm finding, you know, 20 bricks, 30 bricks, 40 bricks, 50 bricks of this warfare against me, right? And what I'm suggesting is there's still a whole castle left to be discovered. I don't know how else to say that, but there's just a whole lot more in this warfare against me than just what people want to suggest to. If you want to suggest it's mental health and that's all there is to see, then get off of my channel, please. Because these people are legitimately the smear campaign artists. They legitimately don't want to see that there's anything else going on here than what needs to be recognized, when legitimately there is. And if there is an avenue that you could recommend I take, I've probably already tried and taken that avenue. But people recommend things all the time, thinking that, oh, I must not have thought of calling 211 or 988, or, you know, the mobile crises teams and stuff like that, to talk to a therapist about what is happening in my actual life. Because it's not just about those things. It's legitimately about the fact that I just want to work and be allowed to work. Crying out loud. Make my own money without it being sabotaged. Have my own love life without it being proxy made, so that they can psychologically determine my life, so that I can't see the reason that, hey, these people just don't want me to take the stand against their activity that I'm finding out and reaching discovery on. And seemingly, any investigations is just being left without anything ever coming to me saying we've investigated this and this is what's been happening. So I'm just left without, and without, and without, and without. So to me, the mission that I'm trying to create and make these moves about, it's more than music, it's more than lyrics, it's more than poetry, but it's about activities to create a mission that's to create many movements that actually move, where hearts and minds and love lives are at stake and are concerned. That should be it should be a concern to you. If it's not, please, please make it a concern of yours that human hearts are just getting completely mauled all over the place. So my idea is just to be able to basically, every day, it's been the same thing though, is to create a clean slate, start all over, get through the prayers, get through the pain, and not cry, not allow myself to be what they want me to be. reactive states of mind where they've got me at 7 years old, 13, a whole bunch of areas of my life. But if we can't recognize in the world together that there's huge issues, huge, humongous issues that we need to face together, I don't know what to tell you. Because there are. And if we can't be allowed to face those issues through deception or these many manifolds of just like immeasurable deceit to human life, liberty, justice, the pursuit of happiness, being protected, having protections actually not just suggest they're there to protect you, but actually doing things to protect you. But then we're faced up with the real serious problem. And you can see where the spiraling that's happening in the world today isn't a good thing, G. And it's never going to be a good thing until we face these issues. So, work on your hearts, man. Please. No one's perfect out here. Not a single one of us. But if I have to somehow be accountable to all of the crimes that these people have staked against me, and I have to be the one to go down for all of their actions against me, it's wrong. It's gutter trash, as a matter of fact. I can't, be in a healthy relationship with my own brothers or my own friend, quote unquote friend. We're heading for some real trouble in this life. And they can go ahead and think that they're all fine and dandy without accountability to what's actually happening in the world and, ethnic cleansing or spiritual cleansing of the world, getting rid of Christians or whatever. But we're really dealing with some of the heaviest warfare that we've ever experienced. And if we can't recognize that for what it is, I'm sorry, but this world is going under, and it's going under really fast. That spiraling that's already happening is just going to get more rapid and ramped up efforts. And if you ask me, that's super sad, G. It's super sad that we have issues so bad in the world where the human heart is affected so badly so that it wants to side with the evil, that it wants to pay for evil to be done. So if we can't allow for any of the good, then what's the point of y'all living? Anyway, I just think these messages I'm making are actually on point because of what I'm dealing with personally on a personal level now that y'all can't see where I could have been to glow up the way I wanted to glow up and blow up, There's no way you could possibly see that in my tired face right now. But it's the actuality of where I've wanted to go and take things into my own life. And I'm just not being allowed. And if you can't see that, then your spiritual eyes are broken. That's legitimately what's happening here. That's what you're seeing in this tired face of mine. Fuck, I'm tired. And I legitimately have to stay up. Again, and still. But yeah, I mean, that's just another part of it. They want me sleep deprived. They want me deprived of life, liberty, my pursuit of happiness. They want me deprived of financial resources, any kind of safety or security, and that higher vibration of energy. If I can't be allowed the financial security and safety of being able to eat and function, or even make it to the grocery store, or like go rollerblading or anything, if they're not allowing me to do anything simply because I have a different viewpoint on God or whatever, like get a life, people. I'm a human being too. And even if you think that you're going to get away with these things, you're not. The Lord's been verbatim there about that in and of itself across all time of Him, of Jesus being here, and of God giving His only begotten Son to save us of our sins. So I hope that there's people out here that do turn from their wicked gatekeepers, owners, decrees by the statist ways, or the powers that be. Turn away. Get on your knees and pray. Ask the Lord for mercy. There's no other way. There's no other way. Do you understand? If you can think of another way, put it in the comments. But there is none. It's the Lord's way. Thy will be done on earth. Or there's just nothing here for anybody. It doesn't matter what the money is because it's not a currency in the first place. And now with EBT and a digital currency being created in the first place, and them even wanting to take that away from us. Good grief, you guys. We're in a really bad situation in the world. And if you can't see it, I'm sorry for trying to even create that communal uplift of a supporting channel. I'm sorry. But there's not one thing I could do in this world and just be left alone to do it, including love my own. And be loved in return. So, it's weighing on my heart pretty heavily these days. My only goal here is that I hope it weighs in on your hearts as well. And especially where it needs to. I know I can't change anybody, but other people can change for themselves. And they can start today. They can start today. And maybe in a week or two, that I might be able to have that and be able to live and reach breakthrough. But without y'all prayers and without y'all changing and making up your mind that, yeah, the human heart is messed up, then there's legitimately, there's no way. There is no way. If the Lord even wants to create miracles, they come through people. So if we can't create those miracles, or not create them, but allow them to be created by love, as God is love, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother, I was ever born. You got your wish. I'm sorry that whatever. He, he's the one that suggested, I'm going to make you sorry that you were ever born. Well, you got your wish, but I don't think your wish is going to do you any favors. And I think that anyone working in the decrees of the demonic out here, thinking that any of that money, any of your power, any of your greed is going to do any good for you in the end. Do you want to side with that? That's on you. But I'm trying to make a move here. And I wish that it was, the vision that I had being, 300 people by now, all helping me with this mission and movement, many movements, and to give this true heart a light, a throttle that can really brighten up life and move it from where we're at into something much more beautiful. Because without that, I don't care how you dance, how you move, or how you play in the world's ways. It's weak. And it is the weakness. It's not a strength. I guess that's all I have for you guys right now. I just hope that you guys agree with me that the human heart needs some work on. And I hope that you'll help me. Help me. Let's change the direction of humanity. Please. And thank you. Goodbye for now.